So this is an interesting story, and I'm finding more connections as I start here. Dog the bounty hunter's stepson allegedly killed his son in a shooting accident, reports say. You see Dog here on the left, you see his stepson over there on the right, and then his stepson's son. They say this was an accidental shooting. I don't see a whole lot of details in the article that I have. I may look at another article, but let me show you what I just caught. I'm seeing right here. Look at Dog the Bounty Hunter. I remember watching this show back in the day. Look at 8 seasons right there. You see that? Of Dog the Bounty Hunter. And who just died? Theo Huxtable, Malcolm Jamal Warner, The Cosby Show. Look at The Cosby Show ran for 8 seasons. And they said that was an accidental drowning, right? And now we have an accidental shooting with Dog the Bounty Hunter. His stepson allegedly killed son in shooting accident. Okay, so those eights hit heavy, and isn't Dog the Bounty Hunter, that show was in Hawaii, right? And Hunter H, and H is the eighth letter of the alphabet. So you got Hawaii and you got Hunter. Bail bonds, business, and home. Look, Honolulu, Hawaii. You see that right there? H is the eighth letter, so you get a double eight there. I don't even want to tell you who that's connected to. Like, you should know by now, but if you don't, I'm going to try to stay on topic here. This dude he kind of looks like Diamond Dallas Page, former pro wrestler as well. But H, the eighth letter, 8 seasons, 8 seasons of The Cosby Show. You get accidents with both stories, right? Let's play this.
Dog the Bounty Hunter and his family are coping with a tragic loss. The former reality TV star, whose real name is Duane Chapman, is mourning the death of his step-grandson, Anthony. TMZ reports that the 13-year-old was shot and killed by Dog's stepson, Gregory Secca, during an accidental shooting at their apartment in Naples, Florida. According to the outlet, local law enforcement responded to a call about a shooting around 8 p.m. July 19th.
Wow. Around 8 p.m. July 19th. Don't forget Malcolm Jamal Warner. He's born in the 8th month as well, with the 8 seasons with The Cosby Show, 8 seasons Dog the Bounty Hunter. H, the eighth letter, Honolulu, Hawaii, with Dog the Bounty Hunter. Jeez, man.
Shooting around 8 p.m. July 19th. The shooting was determined to be a, quote, isolated incident with no arrests having been made. However, authorities say the investigation is ongoing. E! News has reached out to the Naples Police Department but hasn't yet heard back. In a statement to TMZ, Dog and his wife, Francie Chapman, who shares son Gregory with her late husband, expressed their pain over the unimaginable loss, saying, "We are grieving as a family over this incomprehensible tragic accident and would ask for continued prayers as we grieve the loss of our beloved grandson, Anthony." E! News has reached out to reps for the couple but hasn't yet heard back.
Wow, they said around 8 p.m. They said like authorities responded or arrived at the apartment or whatever. An accidental shooting. Wow. this connects too with what I mentioned in my last video. Multiple accusations of racism in the past. We've had stories with Duane Chapman, also known as Dog the Bounty Hunter. Okay, and you see, I brought that up in my last decode. There's been a lot of stories about racism. Remember Elmo's X account was hacked, and racist anti-Semitic remarks were posted. Malcolm X, I saw as trending. I don't know what they're calling it, Malcolm X Files or whatever. I saw something about Martin Luther King Jr. And then what was also trending, I forgot the kid's name, Eaton Pats or something like that. Well, he disappeared uh May 25th. That I saw that was trending. I didn't look too deep into it, but May 25th is the day George Floyd died. And then you have Trump with the Washington Commanders and Cleveland Guardians wanting a name change. So all of this like race stuff is going on. I also saw that when I was looking up Duane Chapman, Hulk Hogan was popping up. Like people also search for. Remember, Hulk Hogan, H is the eighth letter of the alphabet as well. But this character almost comes off like a pro wrestler. I mentioned he kind of looks like Diamond Dallas Page, but he's got the blonde hair thing going on, and he's kind of like a character like Hulk Hogan. So remember, Hulk Hogan had similar accusations of racism. Um, his might have been a phone call as well, like Dog the Bounty Hunter. I think it was a phone call he had, or there was like some kind of recording. But don't be surprised if Hulk Hogan now pops up trending, as we're kind of in this. There's like a racism algorithm going on right now, even with the Cosby Show. You think about the Black family, and the show, right? You can kind of connect that to racism. I think it was Cosby Show or the Cosby Show. One of those equals 42, like slavery, even as well. And this is Duane Dog Chapman, Dog the Bounty Hunter. Dog could be kind of like a negative term referring to somebody, maybe kind of putting them on kind of looking down on somebody possibly. So there's a lot of stuff going on with the language here. You see that's from the Trump story right there, wanting the Guardians to go back to the Indians and the Commanders to go back to the Redskins. So, skin, right? Like racism. So I think that that's what's going on now. All of these stories with some kind of like offensive racist tones, or affiliated with racism in some way. I saw that even George Floyd, there was like a trending story, something about his family making some kind of claims or something. But that's what I'm seeing when I look into these stories, and it's all hitting right now. Don't forget Beth Chapman. She died back in 2019, and this accidental shooting is on the 19th of July here currently. But Alice Elizabeth Chapman, character named Beth Chapman, was an American bounty hunter and reality star who co-starred with her husband at the time, Duane Dog Chapman, on the reality television show Dog the Bounty Hunter. Dog and Beth on the Hunt and Dog's Most Wanted. Don't forget that she passed from lung cancer, but I mentioned she died in 2019, and this accidental shooting was on the 19th day of July. I think that was this past Saturday, and that's Dog the Bounty Hunter's stepson uh, accidentally shooting his son. And I should have showed you. Let's pull up some pictures of the guy. I think his name is Gregory Zeka. Let's pull him up right here. And they give us some images. And his son was 13. It says this is a Florida shooting accident. I think Florida connects with Colorado. I saw him with the Colorado hat on. And Beth was born in Colorado. So I don't know if the whole family here is connected to Colorado. Ooh, I'm seeing some other connections here that are coming up in the breakdown with some other numbers. But look at Colorado's got 83 and 38. Look, Florida's got that 38 right there and 43 like Colorado. And you see right here, look, Beth Chapman, born in Colorado. And I saw Gregory, Dog the Bounty Hunter's stepson. I saw him with the Colorado hat on in that video. You see right here's the video. Here's you see right here. I don't know if you can really see that, but he's got the Colorado logo right there on his hat. So maybe the family's also connected with Colorado, but you see the shooting was in Florida and you see that 38-43 connection right there. Okay? And remember, don't forget about the 8. So you have this death with Beth Chapman. Now you got this. Remember, the 8th month is coming up as well. The 8th month is right around the corner with the 8 seasons of Dog the Bounty Hunter and 8 seasons with the Cosby Show, Malcolm Jamal Warner, with that accidental death supposedly. Don't forget his birthday is in the 8th month. Even Bill Cosby's birthday was just less than 2 weeks ago, and he's 88 years old currently. I noticed that Beth Chapman died on Shannon Sharp's birthday. Don't forget Shannon Sharp played for the Denver Broncos, like Denver, Colorado, as Beth Chapman was born in Colorado. You see? And that's on the fly right there. Don't forget died in Honolulu, Hawaii, HH88, H the 8th letter. But lung cancer equals 44. Cancer equals 44. Shooting equals 44. Kill equals 44. Duane Chapman's birthday, February 2nd, 2-2. 2 plus 2 is 4. And 4 plus 4 is 8. Lung cancer also has 55, like dog. Right? And you see again, Duane, dog. There's probably some more dog symbolism. I'm just not catching it. Duane, dog, the bounty hunter, Chapman's 13-year-old grandson, died Saturday after what several reports, including people, are calling an accidental shooting. I want you to see the language right here, accidental shooting. And apparently Gregory Zeka apparently shot his teenage son. We'll see if there's any kind of update. But look at in the language, accidental shooting, 72 and 107. You see with the two words? But you add them together, look, 179. And this shooting was on 197, the 19th day of the 7th month. So you get 179, 197. Even accidental, I told you, look, ABC 123, accidental's got 72. Duane Chapman, Dog the Bounty Hunter, look, 72 years old. I'm noticing some of these other numbers that are hitting with breakdowns that I just wrapped up that'll be coming out soon as well. What's the character name? She's like a singer, Charlie XCX or whatever. She just had a wedding with the member of, what's it called? The band 1975. I can't remember what the name of it's something 1975, but she married that guy. What was his name? George Daniel or something like that. I just finished it up, but I'll be dropping that soon. But there's 53s and 35s with that breakdown. And I'm seeing again, look at dogs born in 53, but you see how he's 72 years old and accidental equals 72 right there. And there's that Colorado right there. So they say the shooting was in Florida, but you see they're connected with Colorado right there as well. If I remember correctly, I think Colorado's founding anniversary is in a couple days as well. It might be August 1st, and that hits with that 8th month again. Colorado founding date. I'm going to have to type it, it looks like. Colorado. Let's put birthday. You see that? In a few days, there's that 8 right there. Okay? I'm just curious though, Florida birthday. Let's see if the Florida birthday was recently too. They say this was in Florida. I'm not aware, but let's just see if we even get a date. Okay, 3-3. Wow. That connects with some upcoming slides right there. So you can see how everything's connected when these stories hit. It's all connected by the numbers. Look at that Florida founded date 3-3. Now watch as we go forward, as I still have 2 on the fly connections with the 33 and the 133. And they're coming up right now. I put this in, unrelated but totally related. Look at that. Gregory Zeka, 133. Chapman, 133. But we just caught on the fly a little bit earlier, Colorado equals 133. And I just showed you this shooting in Florida. Florida founded on March 3rd, 3-3. Duane, Dog the Bounty Hunter Chapman's birthday. Is that the upcoming birthday? The 33rd day of the year, leaving 332. So you get that 33 again right there. Look at that. So unrelated, but totally related. They were just some extra connections because the details on this story are slim so far. Even Dog the Bounty Hunter first episode date was in August. There's that 8 again. Remember, 8 seasons and 8 seasons of The Cosby Show with the 2 accidental deaths trending at the same time. Right? They might have had like a racism episode possibly with The Cosby Show as well. But you're always going to get, with these like black family shows, you're always going to get some kind of shows touching on racism, or you know what I mean? When I walk outside, I'm out here in Arizona, and they like to say Arizona, they like to connect Arizona with racism. Even the last state to recognize Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday as a holiday, Civil Rights Day. I've never walked outside and seen racism out here. I never went to the store and witnessed it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's just kind of a fake world that we're living in. Look at Bounty Hunter 183, Dog the Bounty Hunter first episode date 318 or 831, but it's the same numbers all mixed up.
More details are coming to light about the tragic death in Duane Chapman's family. 2 days after the Dog the Bounty
Duane. That's interesting because that kind of sounded like Dawn, right? With the 8s. TRUMP 88.
Hunter star's stepson, Gregory Zeka, shot and killed his 13-year-old son, Anthony, during an accidental shooting at their apartment in Naples, Florida. The Collier County Sheriff's Office shared they are conducting a, quote, death investigation in connection with the July 19th incident.
Ooh. Okay, Collier County, remember, that was the MVP in the WNBA All-Star game. Nafisa Collier. Now you get this Collier County Sheriff's Department here. Oh man, I'll touch on that a little bit after this video.
As authorities tell E! News in a statement on July 21st, the call came into our dispatch at 8:08 p.m. This was an isolated incident, and while there have not been any arrests in connection to the shooting, the investigation is ongoing. The statement continues, "Our detectives are conducting a thorough investigation looking into all the elements of this tragic incident. The investigation includes statements from witnesses who were at the scene, forensic testing, subpoenas, and search warrants." Moments after the heartbreaking news broke, the reality star and his wife, Francie Frayne, who shares Gregory with her late husband, expressed just how heartbroken they were over Anthony's passing. With their reps telling TMZ in a statement on July 20th, "We are grieving as a family over this incomprehensible, tragic accident, and would ask for continued prayers as we grieve the loss of our beloved grandson, Anthony."
So something had to give. They said this was out of Collier County, and Nafisa Collier was the All-Star Game MVP in the WNBA. Look at this right here. I just dropped this story, and I just did the decode. Okay? This is the All-Star Game MVP. She had a record-breaking 36 points. And we have Collier County trending with this accidental shooting. Look at how all of this stuff connects. Look at how all of this stuff connects. Is there any updates? Man. Anthony. Okay, I don't think I put Anthony Zecca in the calculator. And what about grandson? I wasn't 100% sure he was going by Anthony Zecca. There's that 34. Remember, Colorado and Florida had 43. Let's see if anything connects, if the numbers are still in there. No, the numbers went away. But 135, 54, 189, and another 54. Let's put grandson to Dog the Bounty Hunter. Look, there's that 38 and 43. Look at this. Grandson's got 38 and 43, like Florida and Colorado. Look at how grandson's got 92. Man, I thought we just saw another 92. Maybe I'm tripping. But 38 and 43 in the same ciphers as Florida and Colorado. You saw the family with the Colorado connection. You saw Beth, born in Colorado. And this shooting and this death in Florida. Look at the 38 and 43 of Dog's grandson right there. Ooh, Florida's got 124 like grandson as well. Look at that. See that? This stuff hits by the language, man. And all of this is on the fly right here. Wow. So is there any updates? His his stepson placed on psychiatric hold. Look, this is completely trending right now. Dog the Bounty Hunter's grandson shot and killed. Police heard screaming. Let's click on this people.com real quick. So his stepson placed on psychiatric hold following accidental death. Right here. Fatal shooting of his son, and something had to give. They balance everything out in this world, okay? Something had to give. So if this is all true, something had to give. Look at this. Oh my God. Remember, Dog the Bounty Hunter is 72. Accidental equals 72. Look, Gregory Zuka involuntarily detained for 72 hours. You see that? Fake world? Fake world due to a mental health crisis. So imagine somebody makes this happen because something has to give, right? It has to balance. You were a star, you owe something. So imagine if the stepson, Gregory Zucca, imagine if he didn't do this and some kind of force or some other energy took out the grandson. Yeah, I could see how Greg would be suffering a mental crisis, right? Imagine that. And think about Bill Cosby as well with Malcolm Jamal Warner. Remember, he got locked up, but maybe something had to give. Look, his birthday was not long ago. Sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Something had to give. Look, his birthday was a few days ago. If it wasn't him, I guess possibly it had to be Malcolm Jamal Warner. And you see, Bill Cosby is 88. Malcolm Jamal Warner's birthday right around the corner in the 8th month. You see that right there? And there's a lot of, even Bill B kind of looks like an 8, but there's a lot of 8s connected to this death. You know what I mean? And I think Richard West pointed out Malcolm, was it Malcolm and Eddie debut date? August 26th, 8 days after Malcolm Jamal Warner's birthday. You know what I mean? So everything's ran on the language and numbers, okay? It first starts with the language. We've proven that letters have numerical values, and this is a code. There's that 124. The video is 124.
More
And remember Florida 124, grandson. I think it was grandson that equaled 124 as well. Colorado 133. Okay, even Colorado's got that C like Chapman. And remember Beth with her lung cancer. Remember 4 plus 4 is 8, but remember she died in Honolulu, Hawaii, H the 8th letter, but remember she's born in Colorado as well. Wow. Okay, so more when I first started putting this together, I'm like, okay, there's not a lot of details. Look how it all comes together with what we now know as decoders, okay? So Dog the Bounty Hunter's stepson allegedly, and look, allegedly, right? This is allegedly. So I think something had to give. And I think if this is all legitimate, he's going to suffer the consequences. And this is what they would call some kind of sacrifice, okay? So Dog the Bounty Hunter's stepson allegedly killed son in shooting accident. All allegedly. Reports say. Until next time, RIP, if this is all for real, for real. RIP. It's a sad, fake world we live in. Be aware. Until next time.